Okay, next segment. Now, if I was smart, I would be uploading the previous video while I'm doing this one. But if I was also smart, I would find a way to cool down the camera because it overheats when I do that. If I can find a way to cool down the camera without using a fan, suppose I could strap a little ice pack to it, but then it wouldn't be able to be mounted, or I'm sorry, my little elf friend won't be able to hold it steady, so I can't do that. He's not, he can't hold it up that long. His arms are stretched out straight. He's going, okay, I'm just holding it real steady. If I put an ice pack on it, it'll go, you won't be able to hold it. Yep. I say, dude, you gotta work out, dude. Yeah, sure. No, you gotta be good. You gotta be good, or I'll tell on you that you were not good. That you were not helpful. Anyway, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was going to have some topics. I mean, not going to. I have some topics to talk about. I thought were fairly interesting when I was looking at them this morning. These would be good topics. Everyone will love them. And what do? I turn the camera on and I look at them and I go, I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I can't go by a script. I've tried, believe me. I tried going by a script on my Patrick Blank channel, and I lost complete interest in that channel. That, and when I started talking about unmentionables, because that's one of the main issues. I just lost interest. Yeah. Okay. But I guess eventually I'll go back to that one. I got to think of a good format for that channel. The Patrick Blank channel. Maybe I'll start doing some... Maybe I'll start doing another topic. Instead of trying to do mostly archaeology stuff. There's got to be something else in flint knapping that's interesting. Flint knapping news? I wish. The latest developments in flint knapping. Here we have some people hitting rocks. And over here, they're hitting rocks. And over here, there are more rocks being hit. And here, rock percussion. And over here, rock smashing. Back to you. Another exciting day of breaking rocks. Rocks were broken at the rock breaking, aka knap-in. Excuse me, sir. Why are you here? Oh, I heard there was supposed to be some kind of barbecue. Thank you, sir. Why are you here? There was a sign out front. It said flint knapping. So I thought these guys were sleeping on flint. I thought it was some kind of joke. Turns out some of these guys are sleeping on flint. It's not a joke. Very, very good, very interesting. Why are you here, sir? I wanted to buy a piece of jewelry. I heard that you can buy stuff here for cheap that you can resell. Yeah. I'm looking for deals, man. Looking for a deal. There's all kinds of reasons why people go to knap-ins that are not necessarily napping reasons. And the one about the barbecue, we had a bunch of nappers, not nappers, we had a bunch of people come around to our pavilion looking for a fish fry. Is there a fish fry out here? I heard there was one out here. No, it's not here. Another one comes up. Is there a fish fry out here? No, there's no fish fry. 3 people came up and asked us, started talking to us. There's fish fry out here? No, I don't know. I don't know why that is. You missed the other guys that were looking for it too. Oh, really? Yeah. All right, see you later. Anyway, it turns out that there was a fish fry, but they were all late to it. They missed it. So we're sitting there napping all day. We're the only ones there at the park, whatever. They look at what we're doing and they go, what is that? What is that? I hear a lot of clicking and breaking and smacking and little tinkly noises. A bunch of, what are you doing? Now we're just breaking up rocks and stuff, making arrowheads. Oh yeah, making arrowheads. I heard about those. Yeah. I know somebody that has some of those on their property. Yeah. Really? Yep. Built the house right on the site. Oh, dang. Dang it. Yep, built the house right on the site. Used to have the artifacts up in the attic and the kids were starting to grow up, so we had to remodel the attic into some rooms, and we lost them. I think there was like 8,000 artifacts or something like that. Dang it! We're all thinking to ourselves, there's stories like that, you know. No big deal though. They're just little Indian artifacts, just little ones. And I know there was a lot of them, but they were just little ones. There were no big ones. Nothing important, because they're not big. And we're all, you know, you just sit there listening sometimes and you go, dang. If they only knew, if they only knew. Who knows, maybe there was a Folsom or 2 in there. Just little ones. Oh, yes. Anyways. They come around, people come around to the the knap-ins. And there's different reasons. I tell new guys, you got to go to a knap-in. You have to go to a knap-in. You have to find a way to go. If you're 12 years old, okay, it's going to be hard. Because you got to have your parents take you. And they'd rather go to a fish fry. But if you can have them take you over there, you can find rocks like this debitage. You can pick up flakes for free. You just go, you guys going to use these? And they most of the time will say, no, that's not usable down there for what we need. Can I have it? Oh yeah, man, help yourself. Sweet. That's what you got to do. You do what you got to do. If you don't have any rocks, go to a knap-in. You will have rocks after you leave, as long as you talk to people. Now, if you don't talk to anyone when you go to a knap-in, you're going to leave and you're going to go, I didn't get any rocks. You lied to me. No, you got to talk to people. Walk up to them and make a fool out of yourself and go, can I have some of these rocks, please? You know what I mean? You're not going to look like one of those fancy people on the internet that talk really fancy. You're going to be talking like a little, I don't know anything person. But you just got to reach out. Not everyone can be a sophisticated interneter in real space, or what they call meat space. Meat space, cyberspace. Yeah, everyone is a superhero in cyberspace. And sometimes they expect that to transfer over into real time or into reality instead of the virtual reality. They're not used to it. They're not used to it. Not used to communicating in real space. And I imagine that'll be getting worse and worse as time goes on. Maybe they'll have virtual knap-ins if they don't already. Can't get rocks at a virtual knap-in though. But you can probably get some connections, maybe have some mailed to you. So it might not be a total loss. You might be able to get some benefit from a virtual knap-in. I guarantee they won't be zoomed in like this. You'll just be watching them from a distant view. But it's better than nothing. Now, can I set up a virtual knap-in? Oh yeah, I mean that stuff's easy. Anything camera, phone related, it's pretty easy. I can do a virtual knap-in. I can do virtual tutorings, but I don't do those. I do not do those. Not right now. I do have someone that I promised I would do a virtual lesson. Still haven't done it. But, you know, if I wanted to, yeah, I could set up virtual knap-ins. Figure out how to get one of those rooms opened up. A Zoom room or something? I don't know. Have everyone set up cameras. Probably have to do it eventually. Get everyone's contact information so that new people can join in and ask them questions afterwards, you know, by email or text or whatever. Get connections for rocks. I see that coming up. I don't know if I will do it, but I could, but we'll see. Someone will beat me to it. So yeah, this is a big departure from those big preforms, and it's pretty thick by the standards of this particular style of point. Now I don't need to thin down the stem very much, but I do need to thin the blade. The blade on these are usually extremely thin. I got 15 more minutes. As long as I play my cards right, I can thin the tip out. Yeah. Not too thin yet, because then it'll snap off. I gotta thin the blade down. The stem, I can always pressure flake that a little bit more and thin that, but right here, past the notches down here, these real ones get very thin up here. Sometimes they're made on flakes just so they can be that way. Why so thin on a lot of these? I don't know. A lot of these are very, very thin. They don't really need to be. I can stop right there. But I won't, because some of these are very, very thin. Now, I prefer to take a few indirect percussion strikes and then even it out with pressure after I remove some bold flakes to thin it down. I'll regularize it with some pressure flaking. Yeah, I gotta grind the edge a lot. So yeah, I was thinking, what is the best stone for beginners? I get asked that question a lot. I've changed my views over the years. I used to say anything you can get a hold of for free. That was my first answer way back in the day. Anything you can get hold of for free is good for beginners. Then I started changing my mind and say, you know what? Some of the free stuff will make you miserable and you'll quit. So, try to get good stuff. Preferably heat treat. Not necessarily really, really delicate, expensive stuff like Brazilian agate. Just heat treated Burlington or something heat treated. Okay. So they went out and they got those things. They come back to me and they say, I don't think this is heat treated right. Take a look. Sure enough, the heat treat was not well heat treated. It was either too high heat or too low. Of course, not everyone was like that. Just the guys with the problems would write me back. So the heat treat was not reliable. So here I go. I'm trying to think what else. What else for beginners? Beginners really can't tell what's good heat treat and what isn't. So what to do? So I said, well, my favorite stuff is Hornstone and Georgetown. Just get some of that. It's good stuff. All right, they go get some of that. They come back, they write back to me. You know, Hornstone is not easy to get, and Georgetown is really a pain in the butt. Oh yeah? What kind of Georgetown did you get? I don't know, but I tried hitting on it and it wouldn't do anything. It was like extremely tough. I get more results from the quartzite I was working on before. Really? Yep. That Georgetown was pretty bad. So now I get to thinking again. What the heck can new guys? What can I recommend for new guys? Besides obsidian and glass, which I don't really recommend for new guys. And it's an extremely difficult question, it turns out. The hardest. The only way that I can guarantee that I'm going to see good results with the new guys is to heat treat the stone myself, sample it, do some flint knapping on it, grade it on a scale of 1 to 10, and ship it out as spalls and preforms. But all it requires is basic stuff to be done with it, and that's it. You can You don't have to spall it down. You already know that it's the good stuff, and if it's not cooperating, then it's your technique. But I would have to sample each and every piece that I send out and grade each and every piece, and probably knap each and every type of material on video that I send out, just so they can see what my results are, to compare, because so they don't know what's them or the stone. They don't know if they're messing up. They need to have some sort of way to tell why they are not progressing. So that's where I'm at. And there's no way I can do that. There's no way that I can sample each and every piece, heat treat stuff for beginners, and send it out. A lot of them don't have the money for that kind of material, because that kind of material, is very expensive per pound. It takes up a lot of my time as well. This doesn't pay as well as making points from it. It might pay okay, but it doesn't pay as well as making points, from my experience, because I have sent out stuff that I have personally heat treated and tested, spalled, and all that, and they usually come back for more, and they want to come back for a lot more. I say, I can't do it, dude. I need to save some for myself. So it's a problem. It's a definite problem. All I can say is, try to join a flint knapping group and collect the scraps that they're knapping from. Just collect the flakes, collect the waste flakes. I'm sorry I can't be any more helpful than that, but the best thing for a new napper now is pick up the waste flakes and ask if it's good stuff. You gotta associate with other nappers. You gotta get into a group or something if you want to learn quickly and with the least amount of hassle. If you can deal with the hassle and you got plenty of time and all that stuff, you can learn on your own. It's not a big deal. Yep, you can use glass and stuff like that too. And be patient. Once in a while someone will send you some good stuff. That's all I can say. That's where I'm at right now. It pains me to not be able to answer that or to solve that problem. Material for new guys, and that goes for tools as well. I am going to start making tool sets, but that's kind of up in the air right now, because I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, and I don't have a permanent shop set up anymore now that I've moved out of my old house. My ex-wife has the house, so I don't have my shop to make tools. Not that I like to make tools either, but at least I had a place to set up a permanent area. Anyway, I will set up another area where I can make tools. So that is coming. But in the meantime, I'm just going to show you my tool set. Steel is the simplest to put together and to maintain. Knapping with steel compared to copper is more difficult. Compared to aluminum, it's a little bit more difficult. Why? Steel has this thing where it'll slip. It won't grab the edge sometimes. You got to get used to it. That's one thing. Number two, you use it as a percussion instrument and it'll smash the edge. That's why I use my aluminum bopper instead of the steel bopper. The steel is a little bit too harsh. So, but I still recommend steel if you're on a budget, or if you just can't afford anything, or all you got is scraps. Toolbox full of stuff that's just scraps. That sort of thing. I'm assuming that you're not going to have much money for it, or that you're not going to want to spend much money up front, not knowing how it's going to go, which is smart. You know, you don't want to spend a lot of money up front. Some guys, I know in the beginning I would tell them where to find some rock for free. The dirt roads that I was traveling. Yeah, there's some rock there. It's not much, but there's some. Okay, dude, thanks. And then I go there later on in the season. It's been stripped bare. Completely stripped bare. And I never hear from them again. What they probably did was they brought their truck, loaded up hundreds of pounds of rocks, dumped it in their yard, did a little bit of knapping, and then something came up. Oh, they got transferred to another job, broke their back. Their brother got into a fight with him, and they're not talking anymore, so he's all depressed and stuff, and just leaves all the rock sitting there. No one's using it. So yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Come on, June. Junie.
So figure out if you're going to do it first before you invest any time or load up your truck full of rock. You can find agate at the hobby stores. Agate slabs. You will need to heat treat those, so you're going to have to get right into researching the heat treating. But an agate slab from the store, from the hobby store, can be knapped if you want something that's like stone. If not, you know, there's glass everywhere, or floor tile. But I recommend, if you're going to use glass, get bottle glass and get the 40-ounce beer bottles, the brown beer bottles. Don't get the fancy liquor bottles that are square or fancy shapes, because a lot of them nap funny. The liquor bottles are dicey. The beer bottles are the best. 40-ounce. Yeah, and the bottoms, you nap the bottoms, in case I forgot that part. Alright, and there's videos on how to extract the bottoms off a beer bottle. And you can start ordering online. But figure out if you can do it first, if you're going to be able to do it. Steady home life, or maybe you need to leave that environment. Maybe you don't have any time for yourself. I recommend, if that's the case, yeah, make some changes. You gotta have time for yourself. Okay, so I think this is done. Yeah, it's pretty much done. And it will be available for sale in the auction. How's that? Okay, just a few more. Pop outs. Okay. Not quite as thin as I was hoping, but it's alright. If I went any thinner, I'd probably break it while talking. Okay. I like it.